Good morning and welcome to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. I'm your host SK, and in every episode, we center our discussions around a crucial aspect of our communities, small businesses. These enterprises are not just businesses, they are the lifeblood of our economy, driving innovation, creating jobs, and nurturing local communities. Today, we have a special episode lined up for you. We are diving into a topic that resonates with many of our listeners: the dynamic world of entrepreneurship and its challenges, the growing trend of side hustles, and the future direction of the market. Joining us today is Sana Mungroo, an inspiring entrepreneur whose journey is nothing short of remarkable. Sana embarked on her entrepreneurial path during university, co-founding Curabit, a data analytics company specializing in natural language processing. Her achievements earned her a spot in the Western Accelerator program within the first year. From there, she transitioned to Amazon as an operations manager, overseeing a team of over 60 associates, and later ventured into launching a vending machine business and establishing a consulting firm. Recognizing a significant challenge within the services industry, Sana created SO, a platform aimed at empowering individuals in fields like hairdressing or nail artistry to manage their businesses with ease. SO is more than an app, it's transformative solutions redefining the at-home services industry. Join us as we explore Sana's journey, her experiences, and the insights she has gained along the way. Good morning, Sana. Welcome to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for
I'm
having me.
I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. It's truly an honor to have you with us. From your early days at university, founding Curabit to your innovation ventures, so your entrepreneurial journey is nothing short of inspiring, Sana. You have not only navigated the complexities of starting and growing businesses, but also made significant contributions to service industry. Let's dive into your story and uncover the insights and experiences that have shaped your entrepreneurial path. Sana, your journey in entrepreneurship is both unique and inspiring. Starting from your university days, when you founded Curabit, then your recent success with So, you have embarked on a path that many dream, but few dare to, tread. Can you share with us what motivated and inspired you to start these ventures, beginning with Curabit and leading up to So?
So actually, prior to Curabit, I was studying actuarial sciences, and I was just about to finish my degree, and I wanted to pay off my student loan. So I went ahead and worked in corporate, took a year and a half off of school, and I was like ready for my career. Had actually landed a full-time job right after following that year and a half. But one thing that I realized doing that is that I didn't get to have much of an impact. It was very clear to me what my next 10, 20 years was going to look like if I were to climb up that ladder. And I was determined not to do that when I kind of went back to school to finish off my degree. So now I was at square one thinking, where do I start? And that's how Curabit actually came to be. It was just an idea that I had, and I was kind of throwing things at the wall, seeing what would stick, just trying to avoid going into that corporate world because I knew it wasn't for me. And Curabit actually started out as a very simple idea that eventually turned into a data analytics company. We actually got into the Western Accelerator program, which really, really helped us, kind of guided us to be what it ended up being. So what we did, we actually took a lot of data from chatbots, which a lot of people will see now on pretty much any site, and analyzed it on the back end and built out an analytics dashboard. That I did that for about 2 years. Really was a huge learning experience. This was my first time doing any business, and I'm sure like many entrepreneurs, I've had many challenges, many mistakes were made. We were able to have some great successes, but eventually I folded that company. Really wanted to get some more experience that would help me grow within the entrepreneurship world. With that, I ended up being an operations manager at Amazon, which was probably one of the greatest experiences to get me to this point. It was quite tough working there, managing a team of 60 people plus, and there was a lot of challenges learning to manage people. I think anybody that has done so, it's very different than actually just building something, right? You have to deal with the emotions. You have to deal with so many things that you wouldn't account for when you're building a business. Once I finished my tenure there, I always knew I wanted to go back to entrepreneurship. I think now I'm at the point where I have much more experience behind me, much more confidence in what I'm doing. And a lot of the stuff that I do now, if I were to compare it to what I was doing in Curabit, probably will take me a tenth of the amount of time purely because of the experience, not even just skills that I've learned. It's just experience teaches you how to really prioritize things. So now I'm here with which is the current company I'm running. It's a platform, a customer management platform, but really it's also a marketplace. And our focus is the services world. We really saw a huge gap when it comes to the service industry and how hard it can be for somebody to start, whether that's through costs or even the technology aspect. And what we're trying to do is really streamline that process. Whether you're a barber, someone that does nails, you name it, any service, we're trying to streamline it so you can get up and running literally within a few minutes.
Right. Sana, hearing about your journey is truly fascinating. Considering your experience as an immigrant and your early career choices, how have these aspects influenced your approach to entrepreneurship and business development?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things, and probably a lot of immigrants face that, is they look for stability. That's a big thing when you come here. You're kind of looking for what's something stable that's going to give me a good income, allow me to achieve the things in life, like buy a house, have a family, and things like that. Kind of breaking out of that mindset was very tough, just because it's very tough to go down the road of entrepreneurship when you can't really see the future. You don't know what the future holds. But having worked at the corporate and having experienced it for over a year, about a year and a half, I just knew that that was not the way for me. And I think a lot of learnings at first had to happen with my mind. I really had to grow the way I think before I could delve into that world of entrepreneurship, which kind of breaks from that being an immigrant and the way you kind of are taught, you grow up and what you learn.
Sana, your story is a remarkable illustration of how resilience, adaptability, and innovation play crucial roles in entrepreneurial landscape. Thank you for sharing your journey with us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate being here.
For our listeners tuning in, Sana's journey is a testament to how diverse experiences and backgrounds can shape a unique, ambitious path. Whether you are just starting out or looking into pivot your career, there's so much to learn from stories like Sana. Now, Sana, coming back to our discussion, like entrepreneurship is a path filled with challenges and hurdles. Understanding and overcoming these obstacles is crucial for anyone looking to make their mark in the business world. Based on your experiences, what would you say are the biggest challenges entrepreneurs face when starting out, and how can this be effectively navigated?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is there's a cost usually associated with starting a business, right? And finding that balance of how much am I willing to invest and also what I'm trying to get as a return from that is very important. I think if I give the services world, for example, something that we really dove into is we noticed that I actually have a friend that opened a brick and mortar, right? And initially, the investment right off the bat, they're looking at a couple thousand just for rent, not including the equipment and everything else, right? And that's a very tough feat to do. And unfortunately for her, she actually had to move back home and kind of take a step back in her current lifestyle, right? And a lot of people don't have that privilege to do that because they come here with families, they have kids, and so on, right? One of the biggest things we're trying to do is to have someone be able to get into that entrepreneurship world with as little of a barrier as possible. Now, just generally, something we're seeing is a lot of the trends is that people tend to go to people's houses for certain things. So I'll give a great example is Uber Eats, DoorDash, Uber. We're changing the system in a way, and I think in a way that removes a lot of barriers for people. And that's the same thing that is trying to do, right? The idea of an at-home service, which is really what we're about, is you remove the initial cost that people tend to face when they're trying to start a business. I think everybody should really have the opportunity to start a business if that's what they want to do. And we want to streamline it so it's as easy as possible for people to do that, regardless of what field they want to go into.
Right. Your insights are incredibly valuable. Could you share a specific instance where you have faced a significant challenge in your entrepreneur journey and how you overcame it?
So, an example of a challenge I would say is um, when I started my first business. I think I was very lost as to what I had to do first, right? People tell you to do a website. You might need a website. Some people are like, no, like you need to focus on clients. Some people are like, what services are you trying to do? And there's so many components, and it's very easy to get lost in the entrepreneurship world. When you're working a job, you come in and you're given your task. You know what you need to do. When you're trying to start a business, trying to go into that world, you don't have tasks. You really have to figure that out for yourself. And I think more and more we're seeing companies trying to streamline that for people, which I think is amazing. A great example of that would be Shopify does that for e-commerce, right? Which is great because if I want to start an e-commerce store, they pretty much run me through the entire process. The same thing that we're doing at So for services. If you want to start, let's say, a barber, you want to be a barber, you can run through everything through our system and within a few minutes you have a shop, right? And I think we need to go down that road more and more and really help people in that way to streamline how you can start your own business, because a huge challenge is, where do I even start?
Right. To our listeners, every entrepreneur's journey is paved with challenges, but as Sana just shared, it's how we face and overcome these obstacles that truly define our path. Think about a challenge you are facing in your own venture. How can you apply Sana's strategies to your situation? Sana, your strategies for overcoming challenges are not just insightful but also inspiring. Thank you for sharing that with us. And it also shows how resilience and strategic thinking can transform obstacles into opportunities for growth. Let's discuss about the market trends and adaptation. The business landscape is ever evolving, right? Staying ahead requires not just understanding current trends but also anticipating the future shifts. From your experience, Sana, especially with where do you see the market heading and how should entrepreneurs adapt to these changes?
Yeah, I think two big trends is, the first thing is getting into entrepreneurship, like I said, I think is getting streamlined. There's more and more companies like So that really help somebody that want to start a business build it from the ground up very quickly, very easily, and provide that guidance. The other piece as well is the at-home world. We've seen the shift with groceries, Instacart. We've seen the shift with actual food deliveries. We've seen it with Uber. There's just a lot of shift where people want to be at home. They want more time to spend with family. They want things to come to them, right? And I think the services world is very much heading in that same direction. And we want to really be the company that sets that up, right? So our entire platform allows you to build the business within a couple of minutes, and it is an at-home service business, right? So that means that you have location-based booking. So I live at home and hey, I want to get my nails done today, we actually capture all of that information. So you as a business, you're able to go to that person's house and do it. And I really think that is where the world is going. At the end of the day, the best way to put it is that we're all trying to get time back, time to spend with the people that we care about, or to do the things that we love, right? And when it comes to our needs, our day-to-day needs, I think we want that to be as easy as possible and as convenient as possible. And that's very much aligned with what So is trying to do and build for the future.
Okay, and we wish you the best from Canadian SME team.
Thank you.
Considering the position of in anticipation of this market trends, what advice would you give to our entrepreneurs looking to stay ahead?
The first thing I would say is definitely take the leap. I think not enough people do. I would definitely tell them, if you're thinking of starting a business, you should do it. Um, a lot of people kind of sit on their doubts. They need to forget that, throw it out the door. Be smart. Be smart about how you do it. You don't want to also, I'm not saying go and quit your job tomorrow and invest your life savings into something. I think there's a lot of tools that help you start things as maybe even on the side, and then build it up. But definitely, if that is something you're looking for, do your research and get started today. There's no reason that you shouldn't be able to start something right away.
Right. Listeners, staying ahead of the market trends is crucial for any business. Sana's approach with So offers a blueprint for anticipating and adapting to change. What trends are you noticing in your industry and how are you preparing for them? Please share your thoughts and your comments on our social media platform. Sana, thank you for sharing your thoughts on these trends. Like your foresight and adaptability provide a roadmap for entrepreneurs navigating the complexities of the market. Now, in today's economy, side hustles are more than just a trend. Yeah, they are fundamental part of the entrepreneurial landscape. How do you weave the role of side hustles in today's economy, and what impact do they have on broader entrepreneurial ecosystem?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are getting into side hustles purely as a way to have more control over their time. I think it's great, and we see more and more younger people trying to do it, right down to teenagers. And the way technology is moving, it's really helping everybody from your teenager down to your grandparents to be able to do it. Right, we're really streamlining things. The side hustle culture, I guess I'll put it that way. Um, I think it should be embraced. There's no better way to put it. Everybody should have the opportunity to follow their dreams and do what they want to do. And a lot of these people, it starts out as a side hustle, but it's something they want to do long term. It's a life they want to build for themselves. So the more tools, the more ways we can actually help them do it, I think we should. And again, like I said, that is pretty much what So is trying to do, right? We're really trying to help people get to the point of starting a business, but also running it at the level that they want to run it. One of the biggest things we do is you get to control your hours, your time, right? So that means if you're working a 9 to 5, your 5 p.m. to 10, that can be open for your side hustle, and that's something we want to keep embracing. The same way there's other platforms like for e-commerce that kind of embrace the same thing, where you get to open your own store and control it that way. I think it's the entire world of the side hustle culture, the move itself should be embraced.
Right. Yeah. Like yesterday, I was reading one of the organization based in Canada. They are providing up to $15,000 financing without any collateral surety for anyone who want to start their side hustle. And I think it's a great motivator for anyone who want to start. Your views on side hustles are enlightening. Like, how has your own experience with side ventures influenced your approach to full time entrepreneurship?
So I started as a side hustle as well, right? I didn't just dive into entrepreneurship. Like I said, I went through the corporate phase. Then I started a business while I was in school. Once I was done, I worked full time, also having side businesses. So to get into entrepreneurship, I think having a side hustle is a great thing, right? It really gets your feet in the door. It allows you to build that stability you won't have from a business starting out and get to the point where you're confident in your business, confident in yourself to be like, okay, this is something I can do full time, right? So I absolutely support it. And I think the initiative, like you said, with the $15,000, I think it's great that it is being supported because I think it's going to help more and more people get into that world and really dip their toes. And once you're in it, it's much easier to carry on, right? So even to get people from the point of like, hey, I kind of want to try this to the point of, you know what, here's this opportunity. Let me take it. Let me see where it goes. I think these are the people, once to take that opportunity, that will build the future, right? They'll build great things. And I think it's a great thing that there are ways that it's being supported.
Right. And we believe side hustles should be encouraged, especially in the teenagers, because this generation, their ideas are more creative than the previous ones. And that's how you see a lot of young entrepreneurs in the market today. Sana, your insights into the world of side hustles highlight their potential as a catalyst for entrepreneurial growth. Thank you for shedding light on this important aspect of the business world. For those listening, side hustles can be a powerful gateway to entrepreneurship. Sana's journey shows how these ventures can provide invaluable experiences. Have you considered starting a side hustle, or do you have currently one? What are you learning from it? Let us know in your comments. Now, turning our focus to So, your innovative platform is making waves in the at-home service industry. Could you highlight any recent achievements or upcoming initiatives for So that you are particularly excited about?
Yeah, for sure. So because we're actually quite young company and we launched our beta version last year, we were able to onboard quite a few companies pretty quickly, which was great. But the biggest thing that I really enjoyed from that is we got so much feedback that we were able to build on for our paid version. And it's as a platform, it's already so much better than it was in such a short time. I really enjoy working closely with small businesses. You really get to learn what their pain points are and what they're really looking for, right? The suite of products that we build is really tailored to the at-home service world, right? And we work very closely with people to try to determine what are the key things that they need to make this successful for them. One of the biggest thing that I will say is if you want to start a business and you want to start an at-home service, like you're able to do that within 5 minutes on So, right? We have streamlined the entire process for people. And I'm pretty happy about the overall features that we have from our booking system to our customer management, like everything that we have that is so well suited for the at-home services world, right? And that's very much a niche we want to stay in and we want to keep building. I think it's very um, a, a lot of these services, they don't really have the tools right now out there that can help them. A lot of the tools are to the wider audience, more even technology focused audience, the people that want to do the remote work, which is wonderful. And I there's nothing wrong there. But I think the small businesses, the services world, and there are thousands, right? It's over 70% of Canada's GDP is just, services.
Right.
So I think that's a big thing. I think these are the people that need the help, and we're working specifically with them to build the product that they need.
I can see how passionate you are, like when you are trying to answer my question. And this is the spirit of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Now, this accomplishment are truly impressive, Sana. How do they align with your long-term vision for So, and what can we expect from the company in the near future?
Yeah, so our long-term vision is actually we're building a marketplace, right? So as our clients bring on their customers, we also have a marketplace that's already released that we're also building simultaneously, which is the goal is that in the future, one of the biggest things we want to see, we want somebody that wants to have a service done at home to have it very quickly and easily accessible through our app. Um, and the idea of it is now you won't have to Google, okay, where am I going to get my haircut? Where am I going to do my nails? Because there's so many services that people use on a weekly, monthly basis, right? It's all going to be in one place. On a business end, one of the biggest things we want to build a community where people can help each other and really entrepreneurs can thrive by working together rather than competing against each other. And what I mean by that is if you, let's say, are a personal trainer and I do meal preps, right? These are very similar customers. It's likely to actually share um, the same wants from both businesses. And we want to connect these businesses. We want them to find ways to work each other, right? Perhaps I can give a discount to your business and vice versa. And in this way, we're actually building a community that thrives together rather than compete against each other.
So, as a woman entrepreneur, have you faced any challenges, and can you share with our audience like how you overcame those challenges?
Yeah, it's funny. I actually get that question quite a bit, right? As a woman entrepreneur. And to be honest with you, I think one of the biggest things is there's a lot of opportunities out there for women entrepreneurs. In fact, I would even go as far as saying there's probably more than men, and that's the truth. And I think it's a wonderful thing, and I really commend a lot of these places where it's accelerators, incubators, even the Canadian government, whatever it may be, to really push women to get into entrepreneurship. And for all women out there, all I would say is just grab the opportunity. It's out there. Just put yourself out there and just grab the opportunity. I think it's wonderful. A lot of the initiatives that have been taken over the last couple of years, last decade even, to really push women to go into business. And there is a lot. And I think the biggest thing is for me, it was actually starting. And that's why I really say like the most important thing is get started and open your eyes, see what opportunities out there, right? And grab it. once you see it.
Thanks for sharing these insights. Sana, hearing about So journey and the future plan is not just exciting but also inspiring. Your dedication to innovation and growth is a beacon for entrepreneurs everywhere. Sana, before we conclude, I do love to hear your thoughts on a topic that's very close to many of our hearts. As a successful woman entrepreneur who has broken barriers and set new benchmarks, what advice would you give to other women who are embarking on their enterprising journeys, especially those who may face unique challenges in the business world?
Yeah, I would say the first thing is like they need to start, right? Come up whatever idea they have, they need to find a way to start it today. Not in a month, not in a year, but today, right? There's little things you can do right away to get into it. The second thing is, like I said, there are many opportunities out there for women, and I think they can just look for these opportunities and grab it, right? Um, and in a way, I do feel there's a lot of help out there. There's a lot of people willing to help you in your community. And thankfully, the entire world is connected online now, which is a wonderful thing. And it's very easy to just connect with people and just ask, right? Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. That's the biggest thing. And ask questions, be curious, be ready to learn, and just start.
Right. That's the best thing to say. Just start. Before we say goodbye, I want to turn to our listeners. Sana's journey is a reminder that entrepreneurship is a journey filled with learning, growth, and transformation. Whether you are at the point of your path or looking to scale to new heights, remember that every challenge is an opportunity and every setback is a lesson. Keep pushing forward, stay adaptable, and never stop innovating. Sana, thank you once again for joining us and sharing your incredible journey and insights.
Well, thank you for having me, SK. I had a wonderful time chatting with you today.
It was a pleasure hosting you today. Thank you. As we wrap up today's episode, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to Sana Mungroo for joining us and sharing such rich and insightful experiences. Her journey from a university entrepreneur to the founder of So is a powerful narrative of innovation, resilience, and strategic foresight. To our listeners, I hope today's discussion has been as enlightening for you as it has been for us. We have explored the challenges and the triumphs of entrepreneurship, the exciting trajectory of the market, and the impactful role of side hustles. A big thank you to our partners, exclusive banking partner RBC, exclusive shipping partner UPS, and exclusive accounting software partner Zero. And remember to subscribe to Canadian SME Small Business Magazine by visiting our official website canadiansme.ca for more inspiring stories and insightful business advice. Thank you all for tuning in to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast.